For a second. And go.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Hollywood Matrimony's TV Tuesday. Make sure you check out our website, hollywoodmatrimony.com. I like that you're entertaining yourself.
You're so stupid.
You can watch this show only on YouTube at Hollywood Matrimony. Don't forget we're on Facebook at Hollywood Matrimony, Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony, and on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, MATR, because they limit the number of characters you can have. We're going to talk about TV shows. I'm so excited.
We're just dumb people.
Who cares?
All right, well, what do you got today?
Well, let me tell you.
And as a reminder, hold on, but as a reminder, all the shows we talk about are not necessarily brand new shows.
Not at all.
Some of them are, some of them aren't. We may deep dive into some old stuff. We may be talking about something that's been on for a while, maybe something we just happen to discover. So, and it's all over the different network streaming services. So if it's on an exclusive streaming service of some sort, like some of the stuff we're going to talk about, I will tell you how to find it and what you need to do to get it.
So I finally finished, and I'm caught up to date with Legacies, which is the spinoff from Vampire Diaries and the spinoff from the originals.
So you're caught up on everything.
No, just that one show. I need to go back and finish the originals. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Do not watch.
Hold on, isn't the originals before?
Don't watch Legacies until you've watched originals.
Don't you give lectures on this all the time about not watching something before the thing you're supposed to watch?
Yes, well,
so did you just break your own rule?
I did. Because this show jumps ahead probably about 20 years or so after the things that happened in Vampire Diaries and originals. And so I knew the characters. I'd seen the first season of originals, and I'm like, I'm caught up.
Isn't it like season 5 or 6 or something? Or
yeah, no, I think it's over now. But yeah,
it's over now.
It was 5 seasons, so you kind of do need to watch that because characters from that kind of come into this. And yes, so you do need to have some Vampire Diaries history, some originals history, and then watch Legacies. But so far, I'm liking it. It's kind of like a little teenager show. But
why are you watching it? You an old bat.
I like those kinds of things. Well, it's vampires.
I tried to watch Vampire Diaries, and I
werewolves
just was so bored with it. Like I don't think I made it to the first season. I gave up.
Well, you don't care about love. That's why. It's a love story with vampires. I don't care about love.
I'm cold and dead inside.
Anyway, so that's what happened with me. Just a friendly warning. And then I started watching the Netflix original series What If, starring this.
Is it based on the Marvel Comics What If?
Who is this? You can tell me this is.
That would be Renee Zellweger.
Renee Zellweger. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. That's not based on the Marvel Comics What If series?
Not at all.
Do you even know what that is?
No.
They are making, just FYI, since you brought that up, and then I'll let you talk about that show. They are apparently doing an animated version of the Marvel's What If TV series. And what the book was one of my favorites, is they would basically create a story, and it would say something like, what if the Punisher's family wasn't killed?
He wouldn't be the Punisher.
You know, well, then it tells the story of what happened. It's like, what if Punisher was Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? It's like stuff like that.
Cool.
You know,
like, what?
Yeah, it does just different stories. It's, you know, what if
twisting the whole thing around?
Yeah, just different things.
That's
you
fun.
know, what if Daredevil wasn't blind, or you know, so it's a fun little show of taking existing characters and doing whatever they wanted with them. So anyway, talk about, that's not this What If show.
No, this stars Renee Zellweger. And basically, she is this like billionaire or whatever.
Tasting.
Yes. And there's a couple. The lady wants to get financing to research this drug company thing she's doing. Okay.
Right.
So it's the man and the woman.
Your show's already boring me, apparently.
Renee Zellweger's character meets the husband at a bar. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm married. And she's like, who said anything about that? Boom. So through that meeting, he kind of spills the beans, what his wife's working on. She happens to be an investor. So she calls him. I know. She calls him over and she makes them an offer. An offer you can't refuse.
That's fixing to say.
Anyways, basically offers to fund this lady's company for gazillions of dollars if the husband spend one night with Renee Zellweger and never say what happened.
Oh, this is the show the other day. I come walking through the living room and she goes, honey, if somebody offers you $1 million or something to spend one night, you're going.
Yes, you
and
are.
I'm like, and I just went, I'm aware of that. And I just kept walking. I didn't even know what we were talking about.
Yeah, but you're good with me, right? We're doing it.
I'd probably do it for $50.
You're dumb. I won't let you do that.
But I would do it.
So
for $50.
of course, because of that, problems start in their relationship. We can't trust Renee Zellweger. There's a whole bunch of like shady
But could we
business.
ever really trust Renee Zellweger?
Who knows? I'm also looking forward to seeing her in the movie Judy. So we'll
She
see how
did
that
play in
goes.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation
Yeah.
with Matthew McConaughey.
That's kind of what
both
I'm.
of them like to pretend that movie never happened.
What's happening on Netflix? I have some others, but I'll let you talk and then we'll come to me again.
Oh, I'm allowed to speak?
Yes, I do have some other shows I want to talk about.
One of the shows I'm going to talk about is 1975. Ran from 1975 to 1977.
What?
It's an old series that's just being released by Shout Factory.
Shout!
It's called Space 1999.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
And we're already past 1999 apparently in real life.
Yeah.
But this show was shot in the 70s. So like a lot of things, everybody thought the 90s was going to be super futuristic.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Spoiler alert.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, we had cell phones.
But the series
Communication devices.
The series starred Martin Landau
Uh-huh.
and Barbara Bain, which I believe were the only two American actors in this. This was a British production, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I love it already.
And
I love anything they do.
It's old enough to where like all the stuff on the moon and the space and the different
Where's my
things.
pillow? Why did you steal my pillow, buddy?
I don't know here. All the space stuff and everything. It's old enough where like the effects are using like little models and
I
things.
love it.
So it's kind of got that old school vibe. It's a cool set. It's 3 different cases, but it's season 1, 2, and then the bonus features. Anyway, basically, you want me to read the synopsis?
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna read the synopsis since we have the copy here, right here.
Oh Lord, you have old man glasses.
It says, from Jerry and Sylvia Anderson, the legendary masterminds behind Thunderbirds. You know what Thunderbirds is?
Which one?
Thunderbirds was that marionette type, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I missed it.
Marionette type show, but they were like flying planes. It was like, anyway.
Oh,
I believe that's the same show. If I'm wrong, feel free to tell me and then I'll delete you. Comes the epic sci-fi series Space 1999.
Nice.
September 1999.
Uh-oh.
A nuclear waste up on the lunar surface unexpectedly detonates, blasting the moon out of Earth's orbit and taking the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha on an unbelievable voyage of discovery and adventure.
Okay.
Under the command of John Koenig, Martin Landau, the Alphans hurtle through the stars, encountering fantastic worlds and beings and universe where perils await at every turn. Together, Koenig and the Alphans face the ultimate challenge in the farthest reaches of space, survive and find a home.
Nice.
So essentially, it was basically just a TV series, kind of a space adventure. It is very dated, but it's a fun little show. I'm about halfway through it. But it's one of those, if you like classic old school sci-fi, it brings everything to it. It's takes itself serious. It's not campy and fun. I mean, it's campy because it's dated, but it's not campy from like being silly per se. At least not what I've seen so far. But it is a great little show that Shout Factory is re-releasing. I believe it comes out this week, today.
Huh?
So I thought I'd bring it on the show.
Well,
I haven't finished it, like I said, and I didn't see it when it came on. I had another friend that was going to do the review for me, but they were traveling and stuff with family, so I didn't think it get it done in time.
Family.
Yeah, they didn't think they'd be able to get it done in time. So they still may have a review come later, a different one. But anyway, it's got some cool, just the overall visuals and the sets, that kind of stuff. I love that old school vibe.
I do too. I think it's fun because you get to see like how they accomplish some things with just like the basic tools they had with them. So
it's very much like the Godzilla movies.
I love
because like there's one sequence where it's like the outside of the lunar base and you see the buildings and you can tell it's model and like you can see their people in their little spacesuits, but you tell they're like little statue figurine things.
I mean,
and a car, like a little car.
They tried.
Yeah, but it works
really hard. So anyway, I love it.
So that's coming out now. It's a fun little show if you enjoy that. It's an old school classic show, but it's getting the Blu-ray release for the first time in this nice, pretty box set from Shout Factory. It's also got tons of bonus stuff with acting.
You with your old man glasses are killing me.
They're not old man glasses; they're my normal glasses.
No, I'm just saying, like you're an old man where you have to take your glasses off to read.
Well, it's because I don't need them. I never have needed them to read. And as I've gotten
older,
you
just needed it for a far distance?
Yeah. So
I need it for everything.
How about I just leave them off? How about that?
I can't see here.
I can see well enough.
I can't see anything.
This is how I got her.
Wow.
But it does have some new bonus features with it too. It's got a new interview with Barbara Bain, one of the stars. It's got new interviews with bunch of the different people. Some new commentaries. And then it's also got some of the old promotional featurettes, vintage interviews, and old stuff. So that's available this year.
That's pretty cool, though.
So, do you want to do something else, or do you want me to keep going?
I have more whenever.
I've got a bunch more. So,
well, tell me.
We're going for 5 hours on this show.
Tell me another one. I did 2 of mine.
Okay, well, before I get into the other thing, it's a new Showtime series. I just started. I've been excited to watch it. It's called The Loudest Voice.
Okay.
And it is the story of Roger Ailes.
Who's that? Let me go look it up.
No. I'll just tell you. This makes me sad.
Oh, I'm sure I know.
Not only has it been all over the news because of the whole Me Too stuff, allegations, he is the person that founded Fox News.
Oh, okay.
And he was like this, just basically, we have the Fox that we have because of him.
Gotcha.
So The Loudest Voice is I believe it's a 6-part mini-series kind of thing.
I love mini-series.
For Showtime. But it stars Russell Crowe as Roger Ailes.
I love Russell Crowe.
In a massive fat suit outfit.
Are you sure it's not him? Because remember, he was getting chunky for a while.
He did, but no, this is Roger Ailes is with big jowls and yeah. It's also got Seth MacFarlane, who created
everything.
Family Guy, and he stars in The Orville. He's playing one of his right-hand man type thing. But it basically kind of bounces around between the first formation of Fox News and the scandal stuff of them letting him go after all the years because of the allegations. So you're getting to see some of his inappropriate behavior stuff, some of the stuff he said. Also, the behind the scenes of Fox News, like entire campaign against Obama, like talking about, like they're doing one of the scenes they're doing a news broadcast and they're saying Barack Obama, and he gets on the thing, he says, make sure you put his middle name Hussein in there. I want people to know he's a terrorist. And they're saying it behind the scenes.
And people still say that.
While they're still trying to say that they're a fair and balanced news network. That's how they promoted themselves. But they were clearly on one side, and they still are. It's just nowadays we know that they do this, CNN does this. Instead of everybody reporting the news, and it's touch base in the show about, well, we're news. We're supposed to be we're not supposed to have an opinion. We're supposed to just report the news. And now there's a scene too where his wife goes to a store or something, and she looks across the street at the little local paper and sees a car with a bumper sticker that has the Biden, whatever, Obama Biden, whatever bumper sticker. So she goes in to complain to them about one of your reporters or people work here has a bumper sticker is biased because it's showcasing they promote one thing, mainly because she was against that.
Right. It
was Roger Ailes' wife, but the lady's like, well, we're a free-thinking newspaper. We report the news. We don't care about people's affiliation, whatever they're thinking. Our employees do what they want, like you're supposed to.
Right.
And she goes, well, you don't this, and you shouldn't be doing this. And she goes, I need to speak to your editor. And it's like this. She goes, can I tell you who that is? She's like, I'm Mrs. Ailes, Mrs. Roger Ailes. And she goes, okay, I guess I'll tell him. She goes, you have no idea who I am, do you? She goes, no, ma'am, I don't. She was trying to use her power to scare the lady. The lady's like, I don't basically give two craps who you are. So anyway, but it's a little 6-part miniseries. It's really well done so far. Roger Ailes is a nutbag, which I'm not surprised. I don't, like with any of these shows, you never know how much of it is accurate, how much is. I'm sure a lot of this was accurate because there was a lot of people that could speak out and say this is how it was. Yeah, and then the scandal. So I'm curious to see where it ends at the end. But I'm on like episode 3, so I'm about halfway through already. Yeah, so it's on Showtime right now. If you miss the episodes, you can go usually to like the Showtime. It's not HBO anywhere, but at the same time, Showtime apps or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. I'm doing through Amazon.
We have the
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Showtime add-on. I was able to jump on and just start watching it now. So all 6 episodes, I believe, are already on there. So I believe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so The Loudest Voice, available now on Showtime.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you go ahead.
Okay, so I got talked into this from one of the people at work. 90 Day Fiance the other way. So 90 Day Fiance is where people meet online or whatever, and then some guy comes and marries somebody here, like after knowing them for like 90 days.
Was it like an arranged marriage thing, or is it just like a mail order bride thing?
It's people who meet on the internet and are dumb, because this is not the thing you should ever do.
I don't think you should get married after 90 years, let alone 90 days.
So on this one, 90 Day Fiance, the other way, this time people from the US have fallen in love supposedly over the internet with people in other countries, and they are leaving their entire life in the
So
US.
what does the other way mean? Because they're going that way instead of bringing people
right.
here? Gotcha.
They are leaving the country. They are going to another whole other world to marry somebody that they really barely know. So this is insane. There's one where clearly this lady is using the man for the money, because she's like, oh, I need to buy something for so and so and so and so, and they get to the register and it's like $700, and she's like, you're gonna pay.
That's how I live.
No, that's like dumb. And he's like, yeah, up to date, I've given her probably $40,000. I bought her a
Well,
car.
I mean, like, I understand her point of view from the standpoint. It's like, I'm a kept man, so I get it.
I guess.
I live in Blakey Manor. And
I know you do, but dang, like, clearly being used for money. And there's this one girl where, this is just the first episode, guys.
You're spoiling the whole episode.
I'm sorry. She meets one guy.
Is it an ongoing,
sordid
it's an
past.
ongoing story of one group, or is each episode a different group of people?
No, it's like 4 or 5 couples, and they're like
and
kind
then you
of
follow them
checking
through the
in.
whole. Okay,
Yes.
so it's not like one of those reality shows like your
Mm-mm.
600 pound. He's having a nightmare now. It's not like 600-pound life where every episode's different.
No, this
Okay.
one we're following all these couples through their journeys, and it's cray, and that's all. You got to watch it to believe it.
What channel is this on?
This is on. I'm watching it. It's on TLC if you have cable.
Like,
If not, you can watch it on the Hulu app.
the band has a channel.
Yes.
What? Not with
Lord.
Left Eye Lopez, because
she's
rest in peace.
So yeah. Anyways, then the next show. Oh, I'm so excited about this next show.
Oh God, what is it?
It is the Taco Chronicles. I'm very excited. It goes through the history and different types of tacos you can find. And
I wonder why you like
excited.
tacos.
I don't know, but it tells you the history of like tacos al pastor and how we have carne asada.
Hold on.
and
Why is it suddenly you say something and now you got an accent?
So
you talk like
I'm excited.
You talk super proper white lady English. She's like, I am so excited. We're gonna watch Taco Tuesday, and then when we start watching the tacos, they got carne asada.
That's what it's called.
I know, it's just funny because your whole voice changes.
Whatever. So that's
Your voice
what
does that
I'm
when
gonna
she
be
gets mad at me
starting.
too. Her voice
So
does that.
I'm going to be starting that, and then of course watching just my normal junk I watch.
Well,
So,
since you brought up the taco show, we
So
did have
excited.
another show we found that we started watching that we want to tell everybody about. I believe it's just called Street Food.
street food.
It's a Netflix show. Each episode focuses on a different country. I'm assuming the first season seems to be just Asia.
Well, there's a lot of Asian, but I think a lot of Asian countries have street food.
I know,
I mean,
but
our countries don't get street food.
Well, we
It'd
have
be like shut down.
street food,
I know,
but
it'd
it's
be
just different
shut down.
places.
It'd be food trucks.
But yeah, but like there was
Sorry,
Thailand,
no,
Thailand, Japan, was it China?
I don't think we've been to
Indonesia.
China, Indonesia. We've
I don't
been to
remember,
Malaysia
but each episode focuses on 2 or 3 different people.
in that country.
Yeah, and what they're famous for and their struggle. It's not just about showing them a cook. It shows their struggles to build their little
My
restaurants.
favorite episode was the one about the daughter trying to take over the restaurant from the parents.
Oh, she's trying to
And
get
she's
it.
trying to she's like, I want to put it in a credit card machine. They're like, no, we don't do that.
But in these
And it's
places,
just crazy
these are
things.
not just like junky places. Like these are places that when you look at it, if you've never been to a country like that, like Singapore, for instance, they have like, when I was there last time, they had, it was like a outdoor, it almost looked like a mall food court.
It's a food market.
But it's outside,
Yeah, it's
right?
all outdoors.
The building, the food where they're cooking's indoors, but you're out, where you're sitting and stuff is kind of outside. It's got a little bit of a cover, but there's places in there that are like Michelin stars. They're not like just,
But they're little food things.
Yeah,
Food
they're
stalls.
they're
It's
little
basically
food stalls.
stalls.
yeah, and it's amazing
And I don't
food.
think if you've never traveled and never seen people eating off a cart, you probably don't get it. You're probably like, ooh, that's gross.
Well,
But,
I think in America, it's not as bad now because now food trucks have become a big thing.
yeah.
Like when I was younger, anybody that's older like us remembers when food trucks were like
It was for construction
gross
workers.
construction work, and it was like frozen burritos and
Yeah.
corn dogs. And I used to work at a place where a food truck came every day.
Yeah.
And we'd go out there and you'd buy these burritos and you buy a sandwich, you buy this, and then you'd be in the bathroom later in the afternoon. But you loved it because it was dirty and it was greasy and it was grimy. It was cheap.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when you hear a food truck, you hear,
It's like
ooh,
gourmet.
this fancy thing and this design and this great food and stuff, which is awesome that it's made that elevation.
Yeah.
It's just not the same thing. But a lot of people, like you were really notorious for this for a long time. A lot of people won't eat off of anything that's not a building or a restaurant. Like
Well, I do now.
Well, you used to be really weird about food in general.
We never had that. But then as we traveled, especially in Asia, this is in Latin America too. I mean, this is what it is. You get the best food.
My favorite restaurant or place in the entire world is where?
In Bangkok, the Noodle Man, who drives his little noodle cart.
Well, that's that. I'm talking about an actual per se restaurant.
Oh,
the Noodle Man is awesome, and
noodle lady that cooks out of the back of her house
is her. It's literally two tables with plastic tablecloths that are like I think Winnie the Pooh or something.
Covers.
Your chairs are like plastic kid chairs. The only drink you get offered is water, and since you can't really drink the water straight out of the tap and stuff there in Thailand, there's an ice chest or a bucket. You just go over there and scoop your water out in just a little generic cup, and you have a menu that's just pictures, and you just point at it, and it's one lady. It's at her house.
She is cooking fast.
She cooks it, and I've eaten there when I was there the second time training. At the Muay Thai school, it's literally right down like the street from there, walking distance. I ate there every single day. I kept telling her for years about it. She's like, whatever. And so she had to go with me to the school the last time. I took her there, and what did you think?
It was so good. But
See?
it's a lot. Like, we got one plate, and both of us could eat one plate.
I told her, I said, let's just order the one, because she had to get back to training, or did I?
You did.
I think I had to get back to training. But she goes, you think one's enough? I said, trust me.
With the fried egg on top?
Oh my God.
So good.
Oh my God.
And then the lady's got her little walk, and she's like walking and stirring.
And she remembered me too when we went back.
And she like and she was asking if you wanted more spicy.
She has this sauce that's like a hot sauce that's black. It's so hot.
Eat that.
And if you use it, remember, because I put too much to one time, you just put a few drops. And my buddy from Singapore is the one that introduced me to it at that place. And when we got there, it had been 2 years since I'd been there.
Uh-huh.
And I went back and we got to her restaurant. She goes, spicy. And she just remembered me because when I was there before, she knew there was 3 dishes that I'd get and I'd circulate. And every time I'd go every day after training or the end of the day training, I'd show up and she'd point to which one. And then she always knew to add a fried egg to the top. And she would always give me a side of the sauce if I wasn't eating there to take with me back to my dorm. And my God, I had so much stomach problems while I was on that trip, but it was amazing.
But you know what? That giant plate of food was like $3.
Yeah, it was cheap and it was all freshly cooked.
And she was busting her butt on that walk. And then if you saw, she'd throw like soap, water, swish, swish, jump, and then she'd throw oil again and start cooking. It was just like,
and it was all fresh produce. Believe it or not, if you've never been to one, to any of these places, 90% at least, if not 95%, of the food stalls and the little food truck things that they have, at least in Thailand, we can speak of. Mm-hmm. Most of them are super clean. They don't look it because the grease on the ground, and you won't find as many in Bangkok anymore because they got rid of them. They're trying to clean up the city, and a lot of the streets there look dirty and gross because of the grease from cooking and stuff, not because it's a dirty city. It was just the way it is.
They're actually very strict about carrying food or eating food. Like on the train, you can't have open food or containers or drinks at all.
Yeah.
So, and then the fruit, the little bag of fruit was so good too.
Yeah, the noodle guy that would come to our school, to our Muay Thai class every day, and you finally got to do the noodle, but you did them on the river.
Yes.
We were at the river market.
Good too.
A little lady with her boat floats up next to us and has cooking them on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Hands it to her, and I'm like, you got to try these noodles. She's like, well, I don't really care about noodles.
Oh, it was so good.
I was like, take these noodles.
I basically ended up being Po.
You did. You can't help it. It's so amazing. It's like the first time I tried it, they came up after class. We just worked out for like 4 hours, and they're like, breakfast is here. It's like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, what?
Noodle time.
I'm like, it's noodles. I'm like, oh, this crap for breakfast. And so I bought some fresh pineapple. I got some juice. I have no idea what it was. It was pinkish purple. I asked the guy what it is. He's like, all right. So I drank it, and they gave me this bowl about this big of noodles with meat and broth and some crunchy substance. And
ooh, the crunchies are the best.
And I have no idea what they are.
I don't know either, but they're good.
But then I ate it every day, and then for years she had to hear me talk about the noodle guy and the noodle guy and the noodle guy. And then when we finally,
I think even when you get noodles here, like if you go eat, it's not the same.
Like I love pho, but it does not taste like the ones over there.
It doesn't. Well, except one time we went to the Thai festival, there was pretty close.
Yes.
It tasted like that, guys. Anyhow, sorry.
Anyway,
the TV show Street Food on Netflix, and also the show the Taco. What was it called?
I don't know. That's your show.
The Taco Chronicles. I know that sounds ridiculous.
You don't even know where it's at. You
but that's what the Taco Chronicles.
Okay.
It is. So make sure you check. We love food. There you go.
That's why we're both fatties.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not fat. I'm chunky.
We're fatties.
All
right. So is that it for you?
That's what I was going to talk about.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a deep dive really quick because one of them is being released this week today for Titans, the complete first season, which is the live action, basically Teen Titans. The show is already available online at dcuniverse.com. Double check and make sure that's a proper address. If they don't have it, yes, it's dcuniverse.com. It's a streaming service for DC. They have technically 4 original series on there. One is the much wanted and highly anticipated season 3 for Young Justice that we got. Are you working?
Yes.
Stop working. We're in the middle of a show. They did 2 seasons of the animated series. It abruptly got canceled, which upset a lot of fans. So when they launched this service, they brought us to season 3. The new episodes of season 3 are finally kicking in. So glad. I've been upset. Then they also have Titans, which was the very first live action series they have. If you don't have the streaming service, the first season is now available
now.
Blu-ray and DVD from Warner Brothers. It's basically Robin and Starfire and Beast Boy and Raven. Hawk and Dove are here. And it's basically a darker version, which I know a lot of people complain about how DC stuff is all dark.
Yeah.
And when the trailer, when the trailer for this first got released, there was a big split down the middle because one of the last lines in the trailer is Robin's beating up all these people in an alley, and he throws a little Robin ring, a
Robin ring,
and but everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's Batman!" because he's in the shadows or whatever. And his last line in that trailer is "F Batman," dropping the whole F word because we're not going to do it here because this is a PG show, unless I forget. But
which happens a lot.
So it made a lot of people mad. But what a lot of people tend to forget is there was a long period of time where Robin and Dick Grayson hated Batman. They split up. That's why one of the reasons he became Nightwing, to separate himself from Batman. And it was kind of brooding and whatnot.
Why are you intent in dropping this DVD?
Parkinson's is kicking in. So anyway, but the show is basically kind of showing the formation of them. They do change up the characters a little bit. So if you're a hardcore fan, you might have issues with the show. I personally loved it.
Is it very different, or?
It is on some level. Like, you may read you the synopsis of it?
Yeah.
All right. She likes whenever we read the synopsises. This gritty, see, it tells you right out the bat. This gritty new take on classic Teen Titans characters follows a team of soon-to-be superheroes. Detroit detective Dick Grayson, which is accurate. He became a detective, but that was he was in Bloodhaven, and that was during the Nightwing years.
Bloodhaven?
It's a city adjacent to Gotham.
Okay.
So he left Gotham to Bloodhaven so he could be his own
man.
Yeah, and he became Nightwing, and he became a police officer, and so he was fighting crime during the day and at night. Dick Grayson, a.k.a. Robin, emerges from the shadows of a traumatic past in Gotham when he crosses paths with Rachel Roth, a.k.a. Raven, a teen possessed by strange darkness. Now, anybody that knows Raven, her dad is a demon from hell, and their mom's a human. So,
my mom's an angel?
To me, yes, she's basically a Nikki. So basically,
sorry, I had to go there.
So basically, her character to me always should have been more of a horror element.
Horror.
Yeah, you see her on Teen Titans Go and stuff like that. Yeah. It's kind of funny, but she's a dark character. She uses the black magic stuff. So it just makes sense to me a little bit more. And they play up the horror creepy element because she doesn't know her dad's existence or who he is in this yet. When they become entangled in a conspiracy that could spark hell on Earth, they are joined by the mysterious Corey Anders, a.k.a. Starfire, and lovable Gar Logan, a.k.a. Beast Boy. Now, Starfire is where they kind of change it, but they really don't. First of all, there was a backlash that they cast an African-American as Starfire because Starfire is actually an alien, and she's orange. She's supposed to be orange. But
this is her human form.
But, in reality, it's always just orange.
Yeah.
But if you look at her,
Because I remember in the cartoon.
If you look at her, she's orange in this image.
Sorry.
She basically turns solid orange when she's using her power.
I see.
And her outfit is the outfit from the show because the character is a prostitute.
Oh.
So, but by the end of the show, it is shifted closer to, and then it makes the realization of what's really going on. Ryan Potter is playing Beast Boy, who is actually a martial artist. Well, interviewed before. I believe he did the voice of the little boy in Big Hero 6.
Okay.
And he has done some little martial arts stuff on Disney and whatnot. So he's playing Beast Boy. They only go, for the fans of it, they really only do his tiger transformation, not all the other animals yet, but I'm assuming that was probably a budget thing.
Yeah.
But it worked better than I would have expected. It says, watch them bond a surrogate family and a fearless band of heroes in 11 edgy, action-packed episodes from DC Universe's first original series.
Is it edgy?
It is, and what's really cool about this show is not only did I enjoy the show as a whole, the best two parts about this show is comes in the ending is when it's after everything is set up and leads off. It's got a great Gotham episode.
Oh, cool.
It's got some other familiar characters that show up. It's also the first appearance of the Doom Patrol, who also now have their own live-action series on DC Universe, including Brendan Fraser, who is one of the main characters in the show.
I'm glad he's doing something.
Alan Tudyk is in the show.
I like him too.
And then a bunch of other people that I don't remember the names offhand.
Excuse me, I'm just
really,
checking. I'm saying
really. And it's set up for season 2 where they look like they're going to be bringing in Superboy next season based on an after credit thing. Hopefully that's going to happen.
That'll be fun.
I believe there's some announcements because he was part of it. So I really like the show. I think it was great. I think you have to, if you're a hardcore comic fan, I think you have to kind of drop some of the stuff and just let it happen. If you did, then Alexa's watching. Hello, sir. If you're a hardcore fan, give it a chance. Look at this as kind of an Elseworlds thing because they do the characters justice, and I really dug it.
Well, and I think anytime there's a show, it's allowed to be a little different. I mean, they're always going to do that.
The problem is DC's had that run-in with Suicide Squad, Batman, Superman, Man of Steel, and they were all dark. They kept talking about how Marvel did this. So Marvel's doing this big and they're colorful, whatever. DC, everything's brooding and dark and whatever. DC tried to go with more realism instead of comic bookish, and it doesn't always work because the biggest issues that most people kind of forget, the standard viewers, comic people know, is Marvel is all about the superheroes.
Yeah.
Right? DC is about gods because Wonder Woman is essentially a god. Superman is essentially a god. Batman, while he doesn't have the powers and all this stuff like that, he's got a god complex, but he's kind of an overseer of everything. You take somebody like Green Lantern.
Yep.
He's godlike, so the characters are larger than life epic in DC. So to me, it's a little harder to make work. And you take character which would always work with Superman and Batman. Yes, the Superman movie should have been a little lighter. The Batman darker, and then you blend them together, and then it makes a weird contrast.
That Superman movie was. The thing that gets me every time is when they're in the courtroom and the thing happens and he's like,
Batman, Superman, or Man of Steel?
Man of Steel.
Or you know when the guy in the wheelchair blows it up? That's Batman, Superman.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Well, whatever. That's the one that gets me because you can tell he's so like, I wanted to save all these people, but he didn't even know.
Well, here's my thing.
I like those movies.
I don't care what anybody says. I will publicly say it. I like all the DC movies.
I do.
Now, do I have some problems with certain things? Yes, of course. Like Suicide Squad, I think is a great movie. The ending of it turns a little bit into Ghostbusters, but that's fine. Batman, Superman drags in certain elements. I think the unrated version works a little bit better because you find out why he couldn't see it in the thing. I love Man of Steel as is. I will argue till I'm blue in the face. I enjoy Man of Steel. Even his murdering of Zod makes sense to me for the element they're creating.
But see, I feel like people are, and then they don't watch the emotion and the self-hate and loathing that he's going through because that is not who he is. But the guy forced him into it. But that
moment makes him become the Superman.
The better man.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
I do like the other Superman where Christopher Reeves pushes the guy down the counter. He's like, I've been working out.
I know that because she does this to me all the time. if she does something stupid or mildly strong,
And be like,
or if we
I've
happen to have
been
a
working
Superman,
out.
she does this.
you gotta put the glasses. People, I've been working out.
It's so dumb.
I love that movie.
Anyway, also
sorry.
also now DC
We
Universe
digress.
has 2 other live action shows. They've got
Are they?
they've got the Doom Patrol, which spun off of Titans.
Nice.
Doom Patrol's a lot lighter. It's a little silly. Doom Patrol is a very quirky, bizarre show, and it's so good. The characters are off the wall anyway. The stories are really weird. I mean, everything from like them having to dive into a donkey to go to another dimension. Yes, it's bizarre. Yes, it's bizarre. Going into a world where everybody's like flamboyantly happy, gay, cross-dressers or whatever, and it's such a weird show, but in the best way possible because the characters in Doom Patrol are weird. And Beast Boy was part of the Doom Patrol. I don't know anything
about it, so
Beast Boy was part of Doom Patrol. So that's how they connected. Is when you first meet Beast Boy, you meet the Doom Patrol, and then it segues. And Brendan Fraser is one of the main characters of the Doom Patrol, so he's in every episode.
I'm glad he's doing something.
The other show, which is my favorite of them all, which sadly has had so many issues, is the new Swamp Thing live action series.
Oh,
and it is
so
good, and it's already been canceled.
Oh, that's too bad.
They canceled it after the first episode. They said there's been a lot of conflicting stories of why it got canceled. I mean, you're going to get the whole season because the streaming service.
Yeah.
But there's been different stories, and I've had people like argue with me online because one story said that the city where they were shooting it promised them something with the tax breaks, whatever, and then when it came out, there was apparently a clerical error, and they weren't getting the proper tax breaks, so they made the show too expensive. Other one was citing creative differences on what they wanted to do. Another one had to do with the rumors that they're going to shut DC Universe down because it's not performing. There's so many elements.
It just started. Give it a chance.
Yeah, but James Wan, who directed Aquaman but did the Saw movies, he's the executive producer on the show. So it is a horror superhero show. It's dark. It's creepy. The girl that's in it, you would know the girl that's in it, and I don't remember what show it is. She's the main girl. But the guy, Derek Mears, who's playing Swamp Thing himself in the Swamp Thing, probably it's practical makeup. It's probably the best looking Swamp Thing I've ever seen. But it's violent, it's gory, it's great. That girl.
This one she was in.
But it's a great show. So even though it's only going to get one season, please check it out because it's so great. It deserves its credit. It deserves.
She was the girlfriend in Teen Wolf.
Okay, I knew it was something like that, but it's a great show. Go back up to right there, click on that picture, so you can click on that, so you can see what he looks like in the show.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's just man in suit. There's no effects, but there are some dark magics and things like this in there. So it's really great. So if you're interested, go to DC Universe. They're not paying us to plug this, but go to DCUniverse.com. You can sign up for the service. It's like
and I like her too.
It's like $8 a month. It's not a big deal. Or I think it's like $75 a year or something. But it not only does it have.
He was in this.
Yes, he just popped in. But not only does it have the 3 original live action shows and the Young Justice, it also has the entire catalog of majority of TV shows, movies, like all the Batman animated series is on there. The Batman movies are on there. Superman movies, the original Shazam 70s series is on there. Digital comic books. It's got a ton of stuff on there.
Do have a lot of
it's not just 3 or 4 things. It's a lot of stuff. So you can watch the original live action Superboy show, Lois and Clark.
Oh, I like Lois.
Yeah, anything, just about anything. And I believe it's even showing like Krypton, the series. I believe it's showing like after, like say if episode 3 comes on, I think that episode 2 jumps onto DC Universe. So you're able to watch it if you don't have the networks, which since I brought it up, the new season of Krypton is awesome. Yeah. Mainly because of Lobo. They nailed Lobo so good.
Yeah. I know you were excited about the first season. So.
Yeah, the first season was good. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be as in general, but it ended up being really good by the time it ended. Yeah. It was a little slow starting. But Lobo in the second season has just made it because they've nailed him. He made him his attitude. He looks like the way he's supposed to. I've heard that Lobo's getting his own series now, so I'm so excited.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, so that's it. So that was,
there you go.
That was a dive into the world of DC.
Nice.
Krypton is currently in its second season on Sci-Fi Channel, and I believe on DC Universe as well.
Cool.
You got anything else?
No, right now. That's it for today.
Okay. I guess we'll end on that note. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Take it away, sister.
Okay. Make sure you check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Hopefully you're following us right now on YouTube. You can subscribe down below.
If you're watching it live,
And-
it's down below.
And make sure you hit like.
But if you're watching it later,
you have to hit subscribe up here.
So if you're watching it live, what she does makes no sense right now. And if you're watching it and there is a little logo, you click over there.
On it.
Then you can also click over here to watch some trailers, some fun trailers on our page.
Yep. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere you want to be.
Yet nowhere.
Thank you for watching.
And be sure to check out our other shows on the channel. Thursday, I will be doing a weekly update about all the channels and all the trailers and news and Blu-ray releases that we've talked about that post on our show this week. And Sunday, we do our
live Hollywood Matrimony.
That was like very undramatic. Live. We do our dual show where it's Facebook Live as well as YouTube channel live, where we talk about this week's movies. Where this week we'll be talking about The Lion King, and we'll be talking about what is it? A Breakthrough movie. And what was the other movie? Oh, hopefully we can see The Art of Self-Defense.
The Art of Self-Defense.
And the other one we were going to talk about, we're not talking about this week, so it doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it.
And then don't forget about my brand new show on Mondays, Martial Arts Mondays, where we take a deep dive into various martial arts movies, one a week. So we'll go from there. Anything else, madam?
That's it.
All right. I guess we will see you next week.
Bye.
Have a wonderful day. Bye. Oh.